this yesterday with the Wi-Fi and everything. Air pollution, you got to look at both sides of the coin here. The air pollution has not been good, but where's JB? Ooh, my nose with the shadow. There you are, buddy.
How's it going?
Good, man. Good. Yeah, it was just, oh, what a wild adventure. It's just, it's, I mean, countries are all different. I don't think, have I ever been to Canada? I don't know if I've ever been to Canada, but, I would assume, they're all just so different, right? When you step across the border. So, it's the Wi-Fi. They don't have the fiber optics. They love, like every other country, they're addicted to the internet. It's not for lack of phones. There's a phone shop every, 2 meters or, what have you. So yesterday, I was telling her, my landlady, look, I need, I was surprised because she said there was Wi-Fi. And now I was thinking, she's very lovely now. Like, it's obviously she's been communicating in English. We're not in Chiang Mai, the big tourist city. So I was impressed. I'm just happy that I have a landlady that speaks English because I definitely don't speak Thai. So I was happy that she does that. But I was rather misled thinking the building has Wi-Fi, which they do, but I guess for some reason I can't access it. I don't know. So that said, when I first moved in, I said, look, I have to work online. That's my livelihood, so I need Wi-Fi. So then she went around. We got this router, as you can see here, and then a the SIM card. And she said, well, why don't you, just do 100 gigabytes. I know nothing about, like, gigabytes and all of this. When I want to use the internet, I use the internet, right? Right, yeah. I mean, that's how we're raised in the States. Like, if you have the internet, you use the internet. You don't worry about it. But especially when I wasn't paying for it, right? So I only got like 100 gigabytes for the month, which was a high package, and it was like 600, 600 baht, whatever that is, a month. One of the higher packages. So I haven't even been here a month, and yesterday it was already going out because I watch movies, I tutor online. This is a lot of, a lot of data, I guess, too. These voiceovers, or videoovers. Pardon me. It's the air pollution from the I don't know. I think they burn the leaves, so it was very smoggy all day yesterday. I presume the same. They call it burning season because they have to burn the brush or the bush, right?
Yes.
So at least it's man-made. It's not, or at least it's nature and not man-made with the pollution. Anyway, long-winded story. So I ran out and I had classes yesterday. So I go, well, fuck. And I had enough data to message her. I said, look, and she's been after me to pay the 2 months deposit. You need 2 months deposit. And I just didn't have it. I'm trying to explain, I'm my school. I need to travel to get the work permit again. Thankfully, she's wonderful, and her sister teaches at my school, so she gets it. She, but still, she's worried that I'm just using this as like a tourist, like for a couple weeks and leaving. That's why they want the deposit. I get it. So I think we're finally on the same page. So I go, look, I've got to go to a coffee house to teach my morning classes. Or no, sorry, the in-between. So 7-Eleven here, Jay, I think I was telling you, is huge. But none of the locals really, they're addicted to it because it's like every block has a 7-Eleven. We Westerners love it because that's pretty much the only place where you can get Western, like Doritos, like our Western food. And we're pigs, so... but it's all pricey. It's imported, 7-Eleven prices. So some of the locals don't like it. She's not a fan for whatever reason. But I went to 7-Eleven and I paid into my phone number for the SIM, which was like another 700 baht. But it wasn't connecting right away. It takes time to get into their system, and I had classes. So then I had to go to the ATM because I had just gotten paid too. So I went to the ATM right out of 7-Eleven. It gets better. The whole tale, like this is going to be another chapter of my book, coming up, the next one. So I run to Amazon, like across the park, Amazon Coffee. It's like popular. It's like their Starbucks chain here in Thailand, Southeast Asia. So I run over there. So I run over there and I go, coffee. I go, how's your Wi-Fi? First thing, I go, let me have a coffee. And then, because I need to teach or whatever, my Wi-Fi's out of my house. So they're very sweet. The majority, their English is some of the best I find in Asia because of all the tourism, right? So they have to, so they, the Thai, right? Because everyone wants to come here. So she goes, I'm sorry, sir, the Thai, or the Wi-Fi the Wi-Fi is only reserved for Thai people. And I go, what the fuck? I mean, this is the type of racism you get in Asia and nationalism that, it's like in defense of Trump, it's like Trump's not booting out, he's just booting out the criminals, that are here illegally in the States and are criminals, right? And he gets backdraft. When you experience this type of shit all the time, I mean, many of these apartment buildings won't rent to foreigners, even though we have legal visas, right? I mean, talking about discrimination, imagine that in Chicago, it wouldn't happen. You'd be sued, right? So anyway, so I go, oh shit. So I couldn't even access their Wi-Fi. Thankfully though, right next door, coffee houses, they don't care, the other ones. So I log in, and then I'm going through, it gets better. So then I'm going through my pockets, JB, and I go, oh shit. Because in Asia, you get your money, and then you've got to remember, it's happened to me 2 or 3 times, especially if I've had beers and I've gone out, where you get the money and you got to remember, then you get your bank card, right? Sometimes you get your bank card. I don't know how it goes down, right? You got to be, 1 for 1. And I was like, well, I was so happy that I had money where I thought I paid for my Wi-Fi that, oh shit, I think the machine ate my card or it popped out. So then I have like 10 minutes to go. I sprint, and this is, I'm not a runner at this point. My legs are going out and everything else. So I sprint back to 7-Eleven, and they don't speak any English. We're trying to translate. I'm like, my bank card, I think's in the machine. But thankfully, while the guy's trying to sort that out, I'm wearing cargo shorts. I tap one of the pockets. My bank card's in my pocket. I go, oh, fuck, sorry, guys, sorry. So I sprint back. I'm 2 minutes late for my class, but they only deduct like a couple yuan. They deduct money, So oh man. So then I get all the classes done. I paid her for another month deposit. So then she's like, oh yeah, well you need unlimited. So this didn't make sense. The unlimited SIM card for the whole year for Wi-Fi data is only 3,000 baht for the whole year, right? As opposed to, this doesn't make sense. This is why, like, Asia, they're supposed to be smart people, but then I'm like, how does this happen, right? As opposed to doing 100 gigabytes or 100 gigabytes per month for 600. So I'm like, why not just pay the 3,000 and have unlimited, right, for the whole year? But I guess it's like, you needed a work permit. You need more to do it. So thankfully she's getting it for me. So then I'll be set, sorted. But what a morning. And then capped off by another lovely walk, to my school, Central Plaza, where it's the big mall. I had McDonald's, so it was capped off by another lovely walk around. I couldn't imagine living in the States right now on a teacher's salary, Jay. I would be, in Chicago, I'd be in a small, dingy studio. Probably, especially Chicago public schools, I'd be in, a school that I wouldn't want to be in, right? I'm a master's plus, you get more money, but it's like, Jesus, I couldn't imagine. It's such a better life here. And you come across all of these expats that own a hotel, that just love it. They've been here 20, 30 years. I mean, it's just, you're just forsaking the, the, the rat race. That's what it was. I heard that's the epitome of it. The rat race of the West to get as much money, 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 money. We've got the money, testosterone president, hyper president now with Trump, as opposed to you come here and everyone's, they're very health conscious. You would have loved, I think you really would have loved Thailand. I know you wanted to see Vietnam, but I mean, they're health conscious in the parks. They'll video, the whole park. They've got, from like when the sun goes down from like 5 to 7 or 8, everyone after work is jamming in the park. You don't hear gunshots like you do in Chicago. I mean, at the park. I mean, it's beautiful. It's so lovely. I mean, we'll always have a place in my heart. Who knows what the future holds. I mean, I'd like to maybe run for I'd like to, if you can't beat them, join them. I'd like to run for Congress or do, one last shot to get ingratiated back to the States. But, other than that, it's like, it's just, the States just seem so hard. And she visited the States, my landlady, and I guess her ex-husband's living in California, but she's like, I don't like America. She didn't really, her English is good, but I don't think she could elaborate why. I was like, why, but she's like, inflation, everything's expensive and everything else. But anyway, you look great. You look great. I just can never reach you. You're just like, well, fuck the nephew. I don't want to pick up, or what's the deal?
A little bit of both.
You fucker. All right. But you look great. This is the longest. You just haven't had clippers. Lynn, I'm sure Lynn can buy. She can get them on Amazon or something, or eBay. She can order you some clippers. Hair clippers.
I talked to Lynn, but I don't remember the Amazon thing you're talking about.
Well, I'll send you, on eBay or on Amazon, you can buy now, and then they can probably deliver it right to the hospital. Hair clippers. So I'll send you the link.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah, I'll send it to, I'll buy, if you don't have it by the time I come back this time next year, your hair's going to be down to your ass. But go ahead and buy. If you don't have them by this time next year, I'll bring you hair clippers, because everything's made here in Asia, cheap. But I'll try to find a link and send it to you, and I'll send it to Lynn too, right? Where you can just order them on Amazon, cheap. So, well, not cheap. Yeah, not cheap, but American prices.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I need it here.
Yeah.
I need it here.
Yeah, so I'll do that right after we get off. So I sent, I sent right above on this conversation on WhatsApp. So I filed a petition. Pardon me. I completely forgot, or did I, right, that you could do this? Because you remember I was in Florida battling the lawyers that are getting paid by the trust anyway, battling them about, everything when I was down there, and I was filing pro se, meaning by yourself, right? And I didn't realize I could have done this, but I really, I wanted Mom just to get Kerry to get just acclimated to her surroundings, and not be adversarial if or when, or if I'm allowed to even see her ever again. I wanted her to just be, peaceful, because she was just so aggressive to me for so long, right? For about 10 years. So I think she is now. She's in a wheelchair, and, to be honest, she looks like she's a vegetable. So that's why I put this petition in to the court. But typical, it's kind of like chastising the whole system, my petition. I'm not going to kiss their ass to see my own mother. Like, that's ridiculous. So we'll see if anything comes out of it, because it's like, I'm not gonna. It's like I love your sister. I loved her. Like we'll see if she is what she's like now, but not the last 10 years. I really didn't love her, and then, but I'm not gonna. You can't pay a lawyer. It's like, to me, it's like you're paying into terrorism if I'm paying a lawyer just to file a petition to see my own mom. It's ludicrous. Like, I don't understand. This whole system. And again, I tell people about it. They just can't believe it, and they can't believe that it happens in America, the land of the free. And I go, well, it's not so free when you get there, financially and physically. I mean, again, we've got a lot of freedoms that other countries don't. That we can make fun of our leaders, but I mean, you can't walk out. You can't walk around even Chicago with a beer in your hand. I mean, here you can walk around anywhere in Asia with a beer in your hand. The cops don't fuck with you. You know, it's always something in the States. Always something to keep you down. And if the police want to arrest you, especially in Florida, they'll arrest you for anything. For anything, right? They'll come up with something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, well, you look fabulous. Usually, I'm just looking at the top of your head when you have, yeah. But now you look great, JB. Jesus, for
Yeah.
150 years old, you're pretty well kept.
At least 150.
Yeah, you feel it, JB. Yeah, I mean, it's like it's up to you, man. I think you could live another 5 years. It's up to you,
Probably
man.
so.
Yeah, I mean, everyone 90 is the new, or yeah, 90 is the new 20. Everyone's living
Yeah.
to at least
I
90
need
years old.
to make it to the 90.
Yeah,
Yeah. After that, I don't know if I want it or not. So.
yeah. Everyone's living to 90. 90's nothing these days, right? So it's trying to make it to 100. That's the goal, right? So yeah,
Well,
yeah. So anyway, so how's the food and everything else? Well, the weather's picking up, but you always have the windows closed. It's March now in
yeah.
Chicago. Yeah.
It's in the hospital. It's a closed thing.
Well, that's not true. I don't know. Like, that's the one thing I disagree. I don't understand why you don't, and I disagree. Like, look at here, like my windows fully open. I've got the AC, but the AC is kind of expensive too. But I mean, it's always, I sleep with that. I just have that fan on. Right? Because it's always hot here, but I love the windows open. I guess I'm like Louis. Your father was like that. You're more like Kerry. So Kerry would never, and it was more like the animals too. But even in Chicago, she would have the AC on. She would never. How would you like? So how was the climate when you were growing up at the home? Because Louis was too cheap to put on, but you didn't have AC anyway. It was the 40s, right? The 30s and 40s, so you didn't really have AC anyway. But you had fans. You had metal fans during the summer, Chicago.
I don't remember that part of it. Yeah.
Yeah. But how would you stay cool when you were on Western? How would you stay cool during the summers, and then how would you stay warm during the winters?
I don't remember. It never was a problem for me.
Yeah. Well, I would assume. I mean, we were industrialized at that point. And did you know, like, did the geezer and your grandmother, did they build that house? Or did they buy the Western house second or third hand? Or how old was that home?
They had the one in the country.
Right, no, but the one on Western, south side of Chicago, where you grew up.
Yeah, I think they finally sold it. Yeah.
No, I know they sold it. But do you remember when they bought it? Did they buy it new, or did they buy it from somebody else?
They bought it from someone else.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, that's probably should be a Chicago landmark. Some of those homes, if they're still
1 second.
yeah
Someone giving me my
food.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, please.
but I mean some of those.
I'm just looking at my dinner here.
Yeah, but some of those south side of Chicago homes should be landmarks. I mean, they're pretty old.
Yeah, but that's Western. I mean, they were all like that.
Right.
I'm not thinking like that. Thank you very much.
Did you? So you and you just don't remember? I mean, I'm sure you had maybe like floor heating. Did they put the like a radiator? You don't remember?
Where?
And at Western, how was it heated? The home, was there a radiator or was there a fireplace?
I'm trying to remember. We had radiators for sure, but I think it was C.
C. A C radiator?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you know more than me. What's a C radiator? JB? You're eating.
Yeah,
All right. All right.
A Paco.
A what?
Yeah, someone started. I started a Paco. Anyway.
No, but what's a? So you had a radiator, but what's a C radiator?
It was you had what do you call it? You had a furnace.
Furnace, yeah.
Steam, and the steam would go through the pipes to the
Oh, the
radiator.
steam, yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, well, that was good. That was high technology back then. That was state of the art back then.
I don't know if it was the way of the others, but that's what they did. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean that was I mean that's some. I think some Chicago buildings still even have that. I mean, they haven't really switched over the old buildings. All right, well, I have one last question, and then I'll let you eat, right? Or you go ahead and eat. Is that so? I went to another Watt. I haven't had time to upload it, but I'll send it to you when I upload it onto YouTube. Is that I went to Watt and I saw like there's an interesting mix of all the Asian cultures in some of these Watts. Now I saw a bunch of animals, like they had a leopard, but they had the rooster in it, like around the pyre, right? I don't know why they have those pyres. I need to look that up too, right? The big pyres, like why they have these. Do you know why they have the big pyres on these Watts? That they look like a tit, like coming from the ground, right? Like a big tit. Circular with a top with a little, do you know what they are?
Not exactly, no.
All right, so I'll look that up and I'll try to share that with you. I'll remember. But this Watt in particular had animals, and it looked like the Chinese zodiac, I guess is what you call it.
Yeah.
Like the year of the dragon, they had a dragon. Year of the monkey, they had a monkey. Like, is that part of Buddhism, or was that just a tip of the hat to Chinese culture too?
Well, it's a little bit of both, but it's mostly both. Mostly, I think it's Confucian. It has the sign you were born in, the
right,
whatever.
Right. Okay. Yeah. All right, well, I love you, man. I just, it's again, you're my closest relative. I've been chatting with Aunt Joanne. Joanne, I told you, is going down to Cuba. Joanne Toom. She's traveling to Cuba with a girlfriend.
Maybe so.
No, she is. That's interesting. I mean, that's one place we're misled that we, as Americans, we shouldn't or we couldn't go down to, but we can go down there. It's just, I guess, a matter of what we see, what we're allowed to see, and how we behave or whatever. But Yeah, that'd be an interesting travel. I mean, it's only less than 300 miles away from, or how many miles away from Florida and Key West, right? It's
Yeah.
our neighbor, and we have such antipathy, like towards them and other countries as well. So interesting. All right, buddy. Well, yeah, I'll ring you in a couple. I'll try you in a couple days, I guess. Right? Right. So yeah, let me upload some videos and I'll send them on to you. But I'll send you right now after this, Jay. I'll email Lynn too about. I'll try to find some cheap clippers on Amazon. All right, hair clippers.
Okay.
All right, man. Love you. Have a good dinner.
Thank you.
All right, love you, buddy. All right, bye bye, JV. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.